Hey, so you ask about the foods packing the densest magnesium punch, right? Not just the ones that give you a decent amount in a normal serving, but the actual concentration champs measured per 100 grams. Magnesium runs so many systems in the body that running low on it feels like your engine is missing a spark plug. Muscles twitch, sleep gets weird, energy dips for no clear reason. A daily target sits around 310 to 420 milligrams depending on who you are, and most people fall short without realizing it. I dug into the numbers from solid nutrient databases, the kind that measure actual milligrams in dry weight or ready-to-eat form, and the ranking gets dominated by seeds and a few nuts. These things concentrate the mineral because plants store it in the parts meant to grow the next generation. First up is hemp seeds, the quiet heavyweight. Hulled hemp seeds hit roughly 700 milligrams of magnesium in every 100 grams. That is wild. You do not need a huge pile either. 2 or 3 tablespoons already push you past a third of what most adults need in a day. They taste mild and nutty, almost like a softer sunflower seed, so they disappear into yogurt, oatmeal, or a smoothie without taking over the flavor. Beyond the magnesium, they bring complete protein and those omega-3 fats that your brain likes. I toss a spoonful on almost everything these days because the payoff is so high for so little effort. The mineral itself sits inside the seed as part of chlorophyll-related compounds and enzyme systems the plant uses, which is why the concentration ends up so extreme once you strip away the shell. If you have never tried them, start small and see how easy it is to keep a jar on the counter. That single habit alone can close a big part of the gap a lot of us walk around with. Right after hemp seeds come pumpkin seeds, and they sit right near the top of the concentration list with about 592 milligrams of magnesium packed into every 100 grams of the dried kernels. That number holds up across the big nutrient databases, so it is not some outlier. A single handful, say 30 grams, already delivers around 175 milligrams. That is nearly half of what a lot of women need in a day, and a solid chunk for men too. The seeds themselves are the green ones you find hulled, sometimes labeled pepitas. They have this mild, slightly sweet nuttiness that works roasted or raw. I like them tossed into salads or just eaten straight when I want something crunchy that actually does more than fill space. The magnesium concentration comes from the way the plant stores minerals in the seed to support the next generation of growth, the same reason so many seeds dominate these rankings. You also get a decent hit of zinc and plant protein alongside it, which pairs nicely with the magnesium for muscle recovery after a long day or a tough workout. Cocoa powder sits next in the concentration ranking, and the unsweetened kind lands around 499 milligrams of magnesium per 100 grams. That number surprises a lot of people who only think of chocolate as a treat. The powder is basically the pure ground cocoa solids after the fat gets pressed out, so the minerals get concentrated hard. You will never sit down and eat 100 grams of it. But even a couple of tablespoons stirred into oatmeal or a smoothie still delivers a meaningful dose. Dark chocolate with 70% cocoa or higher carries a solid share of that same magnesium, usually landing between 200 and 230 milligrams per 100 grams, depending on the brand. The mineral ends up in the cocoa bean because the plant pulls it from the soil and stores it in the seed tissue the same way other high magnesium plants do. I keep a tin of pure cocoa on the shelf and use it more like a seasoning than a dessert ingredient. A spoonful in morning coffee or mixed into Greek yogurt with a few hemp seeds turns an ordinary breakfast into something that actually moves the needle on magnesium intake. The flavor is bitter and deep, so a little goes a long way. If you buy the Dutch processed version, the magnesium stays high, though the natural kind keeps a bit more of the original plant compounds. Either way, this is one of the easiest concentrated sources to keep around without feeling like you are taking a supplement. Flaxseeds take the next spot with roughly 392 milligrams of magnesium in every 100 grams of the whole seeds. That puts them firmly in the upper tier, even if they sit a step below the hemp and pumpkin numbers. The catch is that your body gets more out of them when they are ground. Whole seeds tend to pass through mostly intact, so the magnesium and the omega-3 fats stay locked inside. I keep a small bag in the freezer and grind a spoonful fresh every few days with a cheap coffee grinder. 2 tablespoons of the ground stuff already give you close to 80 milligrams, plus a solid dose of fiber that keeps things moving. The flavor is mild and slightly earthy, so it disappears into yogurt, overnight oats, or even a batch of muffins without anyone noticing. Plants pack magnesium into the seed because it helps power the enzymes that kickstart germination, which is why the concentration ends up so high once you measure the dry weight. Freshly ground flax also brings lignans, those plant compounds that seem to play nice with hormone balance over time. Just do not leave the ground meal sitting out for weeks, or the oils start to turn. A quick grind and a sealed jar in the fridge keeps everything stable. Once the habit sticks, it becomes one of those quiet background moves that quietly closes the magnesium gap without any drama. Brazil nuts come in next at about 376 milligrams of magnesium per 100 grams, which keeps them right up there with the seed powerhouses. 4 or 5 nuts already give you a respectable hit, somewhere around 100 milligrams depending on their size. The thing most people know them for is selenium, and that is fair because a single nut can cover your daily selenium needs, but the magnesium concentration is quietly impressive on its own. They have a rich, almost creamy texture and a flavor that sits somewhere between a macadamia and a milder walnut. I keep a small bag in the pantry and grab a couple in the afternoon when the energy starts to dip. The magnesium in them comes from the same plant strategy we keep seeing. The tree stores the mineral in the seed to support the next generation of growth. Because the nuts are so dense, you do not need many to move the needle. Just be careful not to go overboard every single day on the selenium side, since that mineral has a narrower window. Mixing a few Brazil nuts with pumpkin seeds or almonds spreads the benefits around and keeps the taste interesting. They also bring healthy fats that slow down digestion a bit, so the magnesium release feels steadier. Once you start treating them as a regular snack instead of a rare treat, the daily total climbs without any real effort.